Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. My mic was actually muted not once, but twice. How about that? Everyone, family, I hope that everybody's doing amazing and fantastic on this Memorial Day. It is I, Sean A. White. You guys already know me. For those that's been following me for quite some time, I definitely appreciate as far as for coming on and really just seeing you all. It's always an honor and a privilege to be doing this. And happy Memorial Day to all those that are out, for those that are just relaxing, winding down. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exclusive. We have our very own partner, brother James Bryant, and he's going to be coming on and he's going to be leading the segue. So, without no further ado, it's not going to be transformation greatness, but James Bryant and SBN, the Small Business Podcast, episode 623, presents to you the theme of this is I Thirst.
That's
You're
right.
definitely going to sit back, relax, take notes, get engaged because this is going to be good. Before I go ahead and pass over to you, Brother James, for those that are in attendance, actually right now at this very second live, do us a favor, put in a hashtag live. Let us all know where you're tuning in from. And also, more importantly, what truly inspired you? What were some of the takeaways that you would have gotten from Brother James presenting? But also, too, for those that's maybe catching us on the replay, because we get it. It's a holiday. You're with loved ones, famous friends. You may be even at work. But do us a favor as well. Put in hashtag replay. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And more importantly, what's one or two takeaways that you would receive from this. So with that, folks, that's pretty much enough about that. We have someone, like I mentioned, this gentleman here, he is definitely passionate as far as on what he does, especially in recovery. He is very spirited. He is a man on a purpose. He has a vision. And with no further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my main man up from up top, New Jersey. Stand up now. The one, the only, Mr. James Bryant. You got
Listen,
it. Take it
God
away.
bless you all. Thank you, Mr. White. I love you so much. Thank you, SBN, and to all the partners. I just wish you all God bless you tonight. My name is James Bryant, and I'm from Paterson, New Jersey, and I promote recovery. I do recovery. I promote recovery. I said I do recovery. I don't allow recovery to do me. I do recovery. My mind is alert. My heart is receptive, and I'll never be the same. And I can declare that in the Creator's name. You can tag them with whatever name you like, but I just like to tag them Yahweh. I just like to tag them Yahweh. Anyway, with that being said, tonight I want to talk about the ACEs of life. In the clinical world, the ACEs is concerning childhood trauma. You know, I found out through my own life that my adult problems stimulated from my childhood. You know, some very horrific things happened to me in my childhood. And as life does what life does, it keeps happening, you know, day after day, you know, night after night, you know, sun up, sun down. You know, you have to keep it moving, so to speak. But the trauma's there. And if you don't develop a healthy way to deal with it, you know, it will just compound itself as years go by. And later, when pain becomes so severe that you can no longer take it, you know, you're going to add substances to the mix. And that's what I promote is recovery through the I Thirst spiritual companionship initiative, which means I basically meet people right where they are. My organization is Better Life Recovery and Wellness out of Florham Park, New Jersey, where we meet clients right where they are. We don't impose our will upon them. We meet them. I'm saying this more than once for a reason, but because you have to always be aware that we all are saved by the same grace. It's nobody bigger than the next person, nobody greater than the next person. So you got to always extend the same grace to others as was extended to you. The earth is the Lord's, and all that's in it, it belongs to him. So let's keep that front and center, that you don't really own nothing. You are stewards over what somebody else has given you to usher out. That's how this thing works. That's how it works. So with that being said, I and my other counselors, we meet people right where they are, that we might walk them into a spiritual awakening. Because at the end of the day, if you are dealing with the vicissitudes of life, if you have survived, if you have made it through, if light has come where darkness was, then the only way that you're going to be able to sustain that, you have to get in touch with your higher power, or as they say in the rooms, the God of your understanding. So with that being said, tonight I'm just going to read some passages concerning the I Thirst initiative. I will be breaking it down as much as I can, as fast as I can, with the time that I have. And I need everybody on the SBN network to understand something. While we're all great in our own avenues, this is United We Stand, or it's going to be divided we fall. There's no time for game playing. You got to make a choice today in this life. Either you're in the club or out of the club. And I'm not talking about the SBN network. I'm talking about the Heavenly Father's club. Make a choice today. Tomorrow might be too late. Yesterday's already gone. So I suggest whoever you are, make a choice. Because it's going to come a time when you ain't going to have time. With that being said, let me continue into this podcast. And to the great commissioner out in Texas, God bless you, sir. And thank you for this opportunity to share my passion with you and all the partners on the SBN Network podcast. With that being said, let me continue. It says, the words I thirst are among the last words spoken by the one that hung on the cross. They are also the words painted in every chapel, every church across America. I thirst. It is these words, the last 7 words. These words are the words that the Creator Yahweh said while he was giving up his life, that we today who believe might have life. These people that I work with are coming from some of the most brokenest, heinous backgrounds in life. Molestation, rape, imprisonment, you name it, they're coming from it. Fathers creating children through daughters. And this is hideous. It's evil at its highest degree. Drug addiction with perils beyond compare with some of these women's stories. So it is dark work. It is not for the faint of heart. You have to be chosen to do this work, or you're going to go to work one day and you're going to say, that's it, I quit. I can't take this. But I need to let you know something. That evil exists. Just like there's up and down. Just like there's hot and cold. Just like there's in and out. Evil does exist. There's a war going on out here and we can't see it. But it's happening as we speak. So we at the Better Life Treatment Center, we promote our thirst, spiritual companionship. Because we survived. Let's go deeper. I survived. So I've been commissioned by Yahweh to help others. And I'm sure about that. I don't not sleep at night because I'm on a mission. And it's much bigger than SBN. Because we got people that are sick out here, suffering, dying, disturbed mentally. Mental health is through the roof. And it just might be your coworker. Might be your sister. Might be your mama. Might be your brother. Might even be your pastor. Don't never take nothing for granted. If you have survived the vicissitudes of life and you have your right mind, I think it's time for you to tell somebody thank you. Because as I was explaining to Mr. White before we went live, is that, the vicissitudes of life, the traumas of life, yeah, a lot of people survive these things. But do you have the ability to become productive after you survive? That's another whole topic, another whole podcast, another whole book. A lot of people survive, but the ability to become productive, turn pain into purpose, that's not most people's story. So if you have this ability, to turn pain into purpose, then I think it's time for you to thank somebody. And they sit a little higher than Commissioner James. A little bit stronger than Mr. White. Got more wisdom than myself. Time to take a little time out, and tell Yahweh thank you. Because it could have been another way. Matter of fact, if I be honest with you tonight, it should have been another way. Anyway, with that being said, let me move right along, talking about the I Thirst initiative. It is said that the I Thirst initiative restores. Yes, I'm reading for some of the information that I share with my clients on a daily basis. I will try my best to keep it out the screen, but I will be reading. So if you see my eyes shift from time to time, don't worry about it. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm being thorough about this information, this power, and I've got the information. So I'm going to give it to you that you might obtain some power too. That's the goal. Each one teach one. Anyway, with that being said, let me continue. The I Thirst initiative, it restores, the broken things of life. While addiction destroys, I Thirst restores. Let's go just a little bit deeper. It says, I Thirst trains lay people to become missionaries, serving people afflicted with addictions and their families. See, because this thing affects families too. It's not just the individual. And Lord have mercy, what about the kids? Can't forget about the kids. That's where the most pain is afflicted. Childhood trauma, the aces of life. Remember, can't pick your parents. You're born who you are born to. The color of your skin is already set in motion when you come out of your mother's womb. The cards you're dealt with, so to speak, yeah, you got to play them. Put on your big boy clothes. It says our spiritual companionship offers spiritual consolation, guidance, and recovery. Resource information supported by well-informed and educated clergy and counselors all across America. That's what we do with the I Thirst. We meet people right where they are. And I'd just like to thank Mr. White and to Commissioner James and to the SBN network for letting me share this passion. I survived some real vicissitudes of life. I'm not ashamed about it. As a matter of fact, it gave me the power that I have today. It gave me purpose. At the time when I was going through this molestation, this rape, this losing my mother, this, loved ones dying, this homelessness, this drug addiction, this alcohol abuse, this prostitution when I was, homeless, all of these vicissitudes of life, when it was taking me, in places that were so dark, that darkness was dark. I came to understand that in the midst of all of the chaos and mayhem, in the midst of, Dante's chamber, each room just a little bit darker, I understood that there's a higher entity at place because I kept surviving. People around me was dying, sickness was everywhere, disease was everywhere, prison sentences was given out everywhere, and I just kept surviving. For a long time, I wondered why. I want to check out, Lord, so to speak, say goodbye, tired of this, can't take no more. Suicide was my best friend. Used to sit on the couch with me night after night, drink beers, me and Suicide, What's the sense? What's the use of this? It's not getting any better, you know. But for some strange reason, you know, in spite of what I thought, there was a higher power at work, setting it all up, you know, setting it all up to become an overcomer, to become a survivor, to become a teacher, you know, that to be the hope for others, that they might understand that just because your story started one way, it don't mean that's the end, baby. Ah, boy, all it needs is just a little belief system to change. I just want you to understand that the power is in the mindset. And if you can just incorporate just one belief that might change the direction of your life, just one, all it takes is one. Just one time to think different. One time to put a different thought. One time, you know, just one time. To say, is it possible that this concept that there's a higher entity out here that is operating, is it possible? That's a one thought, one shot deal. And if you can think it just one time, I'm here to tell you that everything's possible. And I don't laugh because it's funny. I laugh because the enemy is defeated. So with that being said, let me continue on with the I Thirst initiative. Spiritual companionship. You know, meeting people right where they are, that they might get better. We leave holiness to God, but we can get better. Let me continue reading some more information that somebody might just have a little bit of peace before I finish this podcast. I'm going to start winding up soon, but for right now, I just want to give you just a little bit more information. And I pray that somebody is inspired to keep doing good work, you know. Keep doing what you're doing, you know. Keep promoting the spirit of love, you know. It always wins. Yes, a lot of bad things going on in the world, but there's also a lot of good things going on. The gift giver is still giving out gifts. I said the gift giver, he's still giving out gifts. I need somebody to really put that in your spirit tonight. No matter how bad things seem to be, the gift giver is still giving out gifts. As the deer longs for the streams of water, so my soul longs for you. Oh God, my being thirsts for God, the living God. With that being said, addiction is a defining problem of society with psychological and mental health components that must be addressed. Let me read that again. Addiction is a defining problem of society with psychological and mental health components that must be addressed. Ultimately, however, the desolation, the abandonment, and the guilt that all hallmarks of the addicted life are in many ways spiritual problems that require a spiritual remedy. The I Thirst program seeks to provide this spiritual remedy to those suffering from addictions through the development and implementation of programs designed to educate, to prevent, to provide, to support, to treatment, to facilities, and the incarcerated, and to develop an accurate community of care for the afflicted and their families. This is our thirst. This is the context of our thirst. I keep telling you, we're meeting people right where they are. Not where we want them to be, but we meet them right where they are. You know, walking them, right into a spiritual awakening. We, the counselors at Better Life, understand the I Thirst initiative because we are survivors. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's a really tough pill to swallow, SBN, because I see a lot of things that grieve me. And I really have to get a hold of myself. When some of my clients come into my office or into the group and they talk about, how every male in their family raped them from the time they was 10 years old and now they're in their 20s. When young girls run to the arms of their father for protection when he's the perpetrator, when I see the damage that it does to a woman when she's in her 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and, trying to figure it all out. When I see children who are born to addictive parents and they have no food to eat, no clean clothes, and, they live pretty much from day to day, from one part to another. When I see the greatest country in the world, with homelessness is through the roof, And I have to remain in a professional atmosphere, I can't allow myself to have this thing, what they call compassion fatigue. Sometimes in the clinical world, you will want something so bad for your clients because you understand that on the other side of pain, it's a really beautiful life. But at the end of the day, it's up to them to do the work. And that sometimes is the sad part. Because it's going to take work, SBN. Swimming upstream, lace up your boots, I had to do it. I had to put all my chips, so to speak. I put them all in, gave up my will, so to speak, and I took the greatest risk that a man could ever take. I stopped trying to fix everything. I stopped questioning why. And I just allowed Yahweh to have his way in my life. And everything changed. So with that being said, tonight, SBN, I just want to say thank you all for your time. I didn't want to take too much of your time. I just want to share the I Thirst initiative. It is what me and my other coworkers, my other counselor friends are promoting at Better Life Recovery and Wellness in Florham Park, New Jersey. We are meeting clients, right where they are, that we might walk them into a spiritual awakening. Until next time, thank you all so much. Mr. Sean White, always God bless you. And to you, Commissioner, and all my SBN partners, I just like to say, keep smiling. Whatever you do, just keep smiling. Just keep smiling.
Indeed. Before we go ahead and end this, first and foremost, give it up for Brother James. I mean, that was just absolutely incredible. I was taking a look at the comments, and we definitely want to honor those that was in the audience. So we have here Sister Angelina, Paris Conscious, also affectionately known as Queen G. She has her own podcast, which is the Peak Wellness Hour with Queen Edith, and those ladies do phenomenal job. You know what? I was just sitting here just listening, and it was like, wow. one thing that I really got for me as a takeaway, and I wish that the audience, if they have time, to go
Yes,
ahead and put like your main takeaways. But for me, it was really like servanthood and boldness. And what you spoke about is that now is the time where, and you said it correctly, you don't have time. You don't have time to sit there and guess. You don't have time to wonder, well, what should I do? What I should be doing? What is my purpose? Ask God. Truly ask Him. And when you do, get to work.
yes, sir.
Because with everything which is going on in the world, obviously, I don't have to regurgitate it. You heard me say it a gazillion and one times. You see, you have social media and the news.
So,
But the point in which that I believe what Brother James is trying to get at is that basically to really have a thirst for your assignment and for the journey, because there's so many people out there that need you, right? That will only can resonate with you. They may not resonate with James, right? They may not even resonate with me.
yeah.
Who knows? They may not even like us, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for you, you are that key person
Mm,
that they can get comfortable with, that they can feel like they can be held accountable with,
mm,
that you're going to have their true intentions at heart, and you only want to see what's best for them. Now, Brother James, I am in agreement with you that the saddest thing, because I'm kind of similar in that space, not as a therapist, but as a hypnotherapist practitioner and also a coach, one of the saddest things is not seeing the person willing to do the work. They recognize it, to them it makes sense. It's like, man, you know what? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense based on what you said, but it's that barrier of
mhm.
not wanting to do the work. And that it comes down to the trauma. And that's why the type of work in which that you do is so imperative
Yeah.
and so important in this space. Continue doing what you're doing. Which, by the way, look, ladies and gentlemen, I just thought about something. For all those that are in our space, you can be a counselor, you can be a therapist, you can be a clinical therapist, you can be a hypnotherapist. If you're doing any kind of servanthood work, servant leadership work, and you really are making a positive difference out there in that community, or striving to be, and would love to be a guest on either my segment or with Brother James Bryant, please feel free to message us, DM us after the show. Let us know your interest, and let's go ahead and make it happen. Because to alliterate on what he stated, now is the time. Not yesterday, not last week, not 2 weeks ago, not in 3 months, not in 6 months, because how the way things are going, you may not even have that time, right? So urgency
No,
is in
Mr.
fact
White. Urgency,
essential.
not cutting you off, but this is real, Mr. White. People are suffering. Let me just be honest with you, sir. People are suffering. They appear to be okay, but they are suffering.
Oh, absolutely. Behind closed doors.
And a lot of
Absolutely.
people are suffering in silence. A lot of people got pride. A lot of people don't want nobody to know. Everybody don't have the to speak about it.
That's true.
It's shameful, clouds of shame, you know.
So let me ask you this, Brother James. So for that, and trust me, I get it. If
Mm.
others want to get a hold of you, how can they reach out to you? Like, what are your social media handles? What's the best avenues a person can reach out to you? I believe you said it before,
Yes,
but
sir.
if you can just let us know again, and make sure you put it in the comments as well
Yes,
on
sir.
where how others
I'm
can get
gonna
a hold
type
of you.
it. I'm gonna type it in the comments now, Mr. White. But it's real simple with me. I'm working on some other stuff right now. My cell number, my email. My email is Bryant James, BRYANT James, JAMES 1127 at gmail.com. Cell number 862-588-4562. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Those two ways right there, trust me, I will get back to you. I will get back to you. And if the call is worth something, leave a voicemail. I'm a busy guy. I don't answer calls sometime right when you call, but that doesn't mean I don't want to talk to you. Leave a voicemail. I took time to create it. You take time to leave the voicemail.
Well, that makes sense. I definitely understand that. So, any final words for your listening audience, Brother James, before we wrap this up? I believe this was definitely very inspiring, and I believe that one person, or maybe even many, will really take this to heart and want to take action. So, what would you be your lasting words for your audience?
My last words for my audience: just keep smiling. Just keep smiling, Mr. White. Listen, I found out something about a smile. It confuses the enemy. Just keep smiling. I declare, Mr. White, if you just keep smiling.
You have it, ladies and gentlemen. From the man himself, he said, keep on smiling. So until then, if what he stated either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person, then may God be glory, and we take no credit for absolutely none of it.
Absolutely.
Until then, you're all been amazing. If you're looking for more from Brother James Bryant, please make sure that you reach out to him. The information, he is going to put that in the chat, so make sure that you reach out. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day holiday. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a good night.
God bless you, Mr. White.
Yes, sir.